from barbecue smoke to modern distilling.
The Horn Chronicle, A German Tastes America.
The Tennessee Whiskey Trail winds through rolling hills, quiet hollows, and small towns where time seems to move a little slower. Each distillery has its own rhythm, its own voice, shaped by generations of hands that built, repaired, and carried on the craft. As I followed this trail, I didn't just taste whiskey, I walked through history, listened to stories carried in the walls, and met people whose passion runs deep in every drop they make. This film is my way of sharing those places and moments just as I experienced them. This is my journey. From downtown Nashville, we're heading a bit further out now. If you really want to understand the Tennessee Whiskey Trail, there's one thing you have to accept. Not every stop here is a distillery, and that's exactly what makes it so different, so unpredictable, and sometimes even more honest than anything I've experienced in Kentucky. Peg Leg Porker Spirits is exactly that kind of place.
But love was stronger than the war. He rolled the stone away. Oh yes, he did. The grave was not the end. No death can win. The sun has risen. Hear angels say, our Savior lives. He rolled the stone away. Woo! On the third day before the dawn, the tomb stood empty. He was gone. No chain of death could hold him still. He walked alive upon the hill. He rolled the stone away.
I didn't spend much time here, no big setup, no classic tour, and maybe that's exactly why it stayed with me. Because Peg Leg Porker doesn't follow the usual rules. This isn't about walking you through every step of whiskey production. No towering stills, no traditional stillhouse. At least, not from what I saw during my visit, and that's not by accident. Behind the name is Carrie Bringle, a true institution in Nashville, but not because of whiskey, because of barbecue. The name Peg Leg Porker isn't a marketing gimmick, it's personal. Carrie lost his leg as a child and still carved out his own path, not quietly, not by following the rules, but entirely on his own terms. And that's exactly how the whiskey feels. It's not distilled here, and that's no secret. This place is about what happens after, selecting barrels, shaping flavor, creating a style that reflects the person behind it, and that style is pretty clear. Bold, spicy, straightforward, a whiskey that doesn't try to be perfect, just one that works, especially with what Carrie does best, barbecue. The tour, if you can even call it that, doesn't feel like a structured experience. It feels more like a quick glimpse behind an idea. And that's probably what stayed with me the most. Not every stop on the Tennessee Whiskey Trail is trying to show you how whiskey is made. Some places simply show you how differently whiskey can be thought. And Peg Leg Porker is exactly one of those places.
You got a match and a half-lit grin. Leaning like trouble I should have stayed in.
We leave Nashville behind and head a little further out into the countryside. Not far, but far enough to feel the pace slow down.
You talk sweet like gasoline. Every word's a little too clean.
Company Distilling at Thompson Station feels different the moment you arrive. It's quieter out here, more space, less noise, and somehow that changes how you experience the whiskey. Company Distilling isn't trying to be the biggest name on the trail. It's a relatively young project, founded by a group of people who've spent decades in the industry. Among them, Jeff Arnett, former master distiller at Jack Daniel's. So there's experience behind this place, a lot of it. But what I found interesting is they didn't build this to replicate the past. They built it to do things their own way. And you can feel that when you walk in. It's open, welcoming, almost more like a gathering place than a traditional distillery. The tour reflects that. It's not overly staged, not rushed. You're guided through the process, but it feels more like a conversation than a presentation. And then you see the setup. Compared to the big names on the trail, this is small, really small.
I got a thing for a bad habit, honey.
From what I've seen, this might actually be one of the smallest stills on the entire trail. And that's intentional because here, it's not about volume, it's about control, about experimentation, about staying close to the process. You can actually feel that connection. This isn't industrial whiskey, this is hands-on. They work with traditional Tennessee whiskey methods, including charcoal mellowing, but without being locked into one rigid style. And that opens the door for something different. Small batch releases, experimental approaches, a bit more freedom in how they shape their whiskey.
We've also utilizing the cooling system around it to help slowly lower that temperature. Not too fast, not too slow, because again, flavor profile is something you want to be consistent with. That's kind of why we more invest in pure spirits at the Ascot Awards. We pride ourselves on making sure that a bottle we pick up in Texas.
For me, this place sits somewhere in between. Not a big legacy distillery, but also not just a stop along the way. It's more like a bridge between tradition and what Tennessee whiskey can become next. And that's what stayed with me.
I got a thing for a bad habit, honey. Snap, snap, yeah, you pull me back in. No good, but I lean again. Little spark, little sin, little midnight spin. Oh, I know better, but I never win. Go on, spin me one more lie. I'll pretend I don't know why. My hands don't listen to my head. Every note comes out, not yet. You're a bad habit, honey, I won't quit. Even when I know you're the end of it. Strike that match, yeah, I'll play along. Some girls learn, I just write the song. You're a bad habit, honey, that's it. Little bit danger, a little bit sin. If you're my downfall, let's begin. Yeah, I like my bad habits, honey, bad.
If you enjoyed this journey, feel free to leave a like and become part of the story. Subscribe to the channel and don't miss the next dram.
One more night, one more hit.
Thank you for watching, and until next time.